Weeds.
No.
Nobody likes them.
Nope.
Those pesky dandelions have been painting your yard yellow but strangling the life out of it.
Storm Team 10's Joseph Dames joins us now, live amongst the dandelions with more information on how to combat these weeds. How do you do it, Joseph?
Hey, well, good evening, everyone. Well, you probably have seen a lot of these, and you might have done this when you were a kid, but I know I used to take these and pop the heads off of them, but that would take an eternity, and you really don't want to be knocking these around, these seeds, either. So I learned a few tips on how to battle those weeds in your yard. Take a look.
And the dandelion crop seems to be bountiful this year. I've noticed it's pretty heavy.
Taraxacum, a tricky little word for tricky little weeds. The most common is the dandelion. A line amongst weeds in the kingdom is your yard. They tend to make an appearance now right when you want your yard looking fresh and green. Tom Cummins of Apple House says this is the time of the year that we see them. They won't go anywhere.
The thing about a dandelion, it's a perennial weed. Once it seeds in to your yard, it's not like certain weeds that are annual in nature and they die off after the first frost. Dandelions are a perennial weed, so they're going to stay with you until you decide you want to get rid of it.
Unfortunately, they spread like cavities.
They'll sometimes have a taproot, it'll be that long, and if you don't get all of it, they'll just come right back.
So pulling them isn't an option. This is how you can help wilt away those weeds.
You know, to get them under control is not that difficult. You can utilize a granular weed and feed that will get the job done for you, or use a liquid control like the Weed Beater Ultra product that is very, very effective against not only easy weeds like dandelions, but the tougher weeds like ground ivies and things of that nature.
But once they're gone, it doesn't mean you're off scot-free. So here's one way to help prevent another breakout.
First of all would be to get a nice thick lawn going, and that's going to take fertilization, may take some overseeding, that type of thing, and it's not going to happen in 5 minutes. It's going to be a kind of a process. But anybody who has a real good thick lawn is not going to have a lot of weed issues.
Well, you can tell there's a lot of weeds here, especially dandelions, and they come in a lot of varieties. These are a common dandelion, and that's actually the name, a common dandelion. But what you saw in the picture earlier was a pretty impressive dandelion that grew pretty big. So they can get larger, but this is usually what you see in your yard. For now, though, I'm going to send it back into the studio. Susie?
That looks like my yard.
I was going to say, how do you get to my yard?
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Wow, okay, yeah, I don't want to admit it, but I have some of these in my yard, and they're just a pain.
But now we know how to deal with them.
Yeah.